Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everyone. I am Night, or Sky, if you still want to call me Sky. I wanted to make this a whole thing. But hi! Hello, everyone. We're doing Kaileen and Blossom's route from Love Wood, so we can finish them off. And then Night will get her own stream, like her own game that she will completely stream, because I thought that'd be cool. And then we'll go back to Blooming Panic and finish that up. At least that's my plan. Trying to think if there's anything else I need to say. I was almost late today because I got very enraptured in a new book I started. It was a book that was recommended by a good friend of mine. And yeah, I'm quite enjoying it a lot. It's great. Oh, you'll probably talk with them about it quite a bit. But I suppose we should just get into it. This will be hopefully on the shorter side because I have the Ren Fair to go to tomorrow. And also I wanted to point out on the bookshelf over there, you can see the 50 subscribers cake. Because I thought it'd be cute to keep a little memento. And you know, I was introduced there, so that's why it's in my room. So let's just boop, boop, boop. We're readjusting some things because usually I make sure everything is going excellently before I start my streams, but like I said, I kind of got distracted by this really good book. So I'm just currently making sure everything is working, being good, not breaking, because it's hopefully not. Night's not that laggy, I hope. Actually, while we do that, I might as well. There we go. Okay, yep. Just double checking. Everything is good. Everything is wonderful. Then we should just, first of all, oh no, we should start. And now we're going to skip a bunch. We're gonna be she, her this time. Of course she will need a name as well. Night is my name. Before our hero Night dives into her adventure, she is facing the struggles of phrasing a formal, appropriate letter. And then we're just gonna skip through a bunch. For record, I'm only doing this once. Thanks for letting me tag along. Saying hello to everyone. I did like, there's a whole first day video. Okay? I can't be having go over it again. Sorry. Especially if I want to keep this stream short. Things working, I must seem happy. Lock on the door frame. Problem. And then Elise. And then Kaileen! Huh? What's happening? Oh, this is just Elise. Okay. And now we have officially begun the routes. So Kaileen is first. I'd like to see what Kaileen is getting up to today. In fact, I can spot her stepping out of her house at this very moment. Judging by her quick look I can get of the interior, her living space is really more of a potion lab than a normal home. Hey, you're looking ready to go somewhere. Is it really that obvious? I'm heading out on a trip into the forest. Oh, what for? Okay, so I recently came across this place that featured an alchemation of a rare type of Saphiganum. I don't know how to say these names. But while I was there, I didn't have any equipment for collecting samples. And I didn't just want to, you know, stuff it in my pockets, so I left it. But I really would like to add it to my garden. Which is why I'm going there again and hope that the patch is still there. Nope, I think I got lost. Here I am. So you're going out to collect plant samples? Yes, that's the gist of it. Sounds like a good time. Could I come along? Sure, as long as you don't mind walking a lot. I already spend enough time seated during my regular job. A chance to stretch my legs is always welcome. I let Kaileen lead the way through the forest. She's so pretty! We stray off the regular path pretty quickly, but she seems to know where she's going. Maybe like. Furthermore, she rarely stays quiet for a long time, casually pointing out facts about plants that she collects on the way. Oh, is that some push-ups weed? Don't mind me taking some of that. It's a nice treatment against gout. Plus, it makes a good addition to any soup. Did you even get push-ups weed further down in the south? Yeah, I don't know. Yes, but we more commonly used meadowsweet. It was similarly useful against infections and inflammation and such. I'm sorry if I butcher. Like, if any of these are like actual plants and stuff, I apologize. If I butcher names, I ain't good with names. There's a reason Dino's nickname is Dino. I can't say their actual username for the life of me. Ooh, I've heard the scent of that must be amazing. Kind of a shame I can't find it around these parts. I'll admit, it was weirdly comforting to nerd out about plants with someone. Even though I feel like I sometimes can't keep up with Kaileen. Nah, I could keep up with her. She's so pretty. Beautiful. Considering how often she gets distracted, it's hard to tell how far from the village we've walked when we finally arrive at our goal. Kaileen be me for real, for real. Like I said, ADHD here. There it is. Thank goodness I remembered the way here. Whoa, whoa, are those ruins of an old temple or something? Kaileen shrugs. It's accurate. Apparently, in any case, it looks to be just the right growing conditions for this bad boy over there. Kaileen points out a patch of moss on one of the rocky surfaces and begins unpacking her equipment to take samples. You were looking for this moss all along? Of course! Didn't I mention it? Sapphicum, also known as peat moss. Oh, that's cool. Though, I prefer the scientific terms for this one. KoYoMi terms can get so vague and confusing. Fair enough, fair enough. Me with Greek mythology. But moss is fuck you. Let her have her stuff. Nice, what will you be doing with that? I can't believe we came all this way to collect dirt. I'll just let her finish her work piece. Nice, what will you be doing with that? I'll be taking some samples, and then I'll try growing some patches of this in my own garden. I hope the conditions will be alright. That's interesting. This moss can be used for all kinds of purposes. It makes a good dressing for wounds, which might be interesting to you as a healer. It's quite adisic. Believe I said that right. So it stops the growth of bacteria and fungi. That means it can also be used for the preservation of food. Plus, the decayed moss makes for a great soil conditioner. Or, at least, so I've heard. I'm sure I can use it in some alchemy projects too. Wow, that's pretty amazing stuff. Right? I love a person that can get excited about moss. I love a person that can get really passionate and excited about stuff. Totally not talking about last stream where I spent a good chunk of it talking about Greek mythology. In my defense, Dino entertained me. Anyway, thanks for letting me ramble. That was probably more detailed than you wanted to hear. No, I love hearing more stuff. Don't worry about it. I like hearing your thoughts. Thank you. Kaileen moves on, taking samples. Look how pretty her tail is! She's so cute! She is putting bits of moss in glass vials, careful not to damage it too much. It's strangely enchanting to watch. She's so pretty. Eventually we've gathered everything we need and get ready to head back. While we return to the village, we actually walk in silence for longer than we've ever had before. Kaileen, everything okay? It's not awkward silence, though. I like to think that we've both gotten a bit more comfortable around each other during this excursion. Ah, yeah, comfortable silence where you can just sit with someone and there's silence between. Yeah, those are nice. Hey, are you hearing something? Someone coming this way? Yeah. We cautiously hide behind a rock formation and listen. Do you guys smell that? Something reeks of fairies. Wow, rude. We don't stink. I hope I don't stink. Please don't. I don't want to stink. I want to smell good. I have several perfumes, so. Great, like a Morse. Kaileen has lowered her voice, trying not to attract their attention. Oh, I don't know if I can do that voice and then lower it. This is weird. I don't think we stepped into their territory. Aren't you guys on peaceful terms with the Lycomores? Officially, yes. How that plays out in the field is a bit less practical. One of those. I feel like those two don't care much about official business. Right, we better avoid them. Do we just try to sneak off? Wait, not yet. Kaileen quietly opens her bag and feels around the bottom for something. Sorry, I am tired. You got something to help us out? Kaileen nods. She pulls out a small glass bottle filled with what looks to be herbs. Kaileen pulls off the plug and throws it into a faraway bush. Now we move. We try to keep a low profile. Look at this dash. Profile and make as few noise as possible as we get some distance between the lycomorphs and us. I take one quick look back and I can see that one of them is sniffing confusing. What the hell? Did someone dump a pot of soup around here? Alright, we should be in the clear. Phew! What was that bottle you threw into the bush? Some strong smelling herbs? Exactly. Lycomores have a very strong sense of smell. I was worried they may track us down by following our scent. Smart. The smell of that glass vial should mask our tracks well enough and made for a nice distraction. Very clever. I just feel bad for leaving it in the woods. It was a good bottle. I guess now I know why Leith keeps finding all sorts of odds and ends in the forest. Maybe someday it'll find its way back to me. Who knows? Hey, thanks for joining me today. It was no problem. I loved it. You're welcome. Though I'm not sure if I actually helped all that much. It's always safer to go out together. Besides, having you around was nice. Oh, well, maybe we should geek out about moss more often. Yeah. Say, would you like to take a look at the garden? I'm just about to find a spot for these moss samples anyway. I'd love to see it. Truly, gardens are— oh look, we've got the pretty garden again at the treehouse. Oh, I love her house so much. I think I know just the right spot for this. Feel free to look around. I'll be back in a sec. Don't stop on any flowers. Now that I'm seeing Kaileen's garden, a lot of things are starting to make sense to me. This place almost feels like a representation of what her mind must be like. Densely packed, a little chaotic at first glance, but everything must be balanced really well in order to function like this. This is so accurate. Like, everything is functioning in its own little way, but it is kind of chaotic. But it do be functioning. And honestly, it's very beautiful. Alright, that's done too. Time to finally take a break. The more I look at this place, the more impressive it gets. You like it? Of course. Oh, I actually said that in Kaileen's voice. I'm sorry. Of course. Did you structure all of this from the ground up? Don't give me too much credit. It's not all my doing. My father started this garden. He's also the one who taught me growth. That's cute. We love healthy father dynamics. It was a no-brainer that I'd keep it intact once he was gone. But I decided that I also wanted to expand it, bring in new plants, and make it more beautiful. It's one of those things that will keep me connected to him. That's sweet. Wow. For what it's worth, I think you're doing amazing work here. Thanks, but I'm certainly far from being done. There's always new things to improve, to add, to learn. I'll never be done, and that's strange and comforting. I see what you mean. If you ever want to go on another excursion into the middle of the woods, you know where to find me. Oh, be careful what you're getting into. I'll totally take you up on that offer. But for now, have a good evening, Knight. You too. I'm sure I'll be seeing you around. The rest of my day is spent tidying up and journaling. I feel strangely at peace after such an eventful day. As I drift to sleep, my dreams are more colorful than usual. On the next morning, I decide to tap back into some of my creative juices, make a little sign for my house. Oh, we can skip through most of this. Haha. Okay, there she is. I readjusted for a moment. As I step outside into the town square, I instantly see Kaileen making a beeline for Elif's shop. I get the impression that she chats with them every day when they're here. Though, this time, there's a bit more spring in her step than usual. I watch them from afar to see what they get up to. Hey, Elif! Huh, you're not looking excited at all. What's up? Well, I got a little something for you. A present! Oh? Ta-da! Kaileen reveals a small glass bottle. The liquid in it has a warm green tint. Is that a truth potion? I finally managed to make one, and I want you to have it, Elif. I've only done some tests using it myself, but I'm quite certain that it's working like a charm. When you drink this, it should temporarily cancel out your curse. Then you'll finally get to talk normally. Here I thought these two were already talking pretty normally with each other. Wow, that must have been really easy to do. Oh, you know it. Mind-affecting alchemy is never a simple task. But thanks to the new ingredients I got, I finally had a breakthrough. I, admittedly, don't know how long the potion's effects will last. Around 2 minutes, at least, maybe longer. Elif nods and gets out their chalkboard. They write something down and show it to Kaileen, but I'm not close enough to see it. Right, saving it for a special occasion sounds like a good idea. But if you want to use it sometime and I'm not around to see it, you'll have to tell me how it went. It's important data after all. She's so sweet. Elif nods and gestures thank you. I'll make some more of these while it's still fresh in my head. I'll catch you later, alright? Elif waves goodbye, but Kaileen doesn't even look back. It appears that she's fully absorbed in her drive to do more alchemy. She's hyperfixated right now, man. You can't get her out of it. After she's left the town square, I see Elif pensively swish around the elixir in the bottle. Maybe this isn't my place to get involved, but I gotta say something. Hi. Wonderful intro here. How's it going? Oh, I'm fine, but I was just about to ask you the same thing. Are you doing alright? Elif nods slowly, but they can't seem to take their eyes off the potion. You look as if something's bothering you. Elif exhales deeply and taps their foot for a moment. Then they grab their chalkboard and rest the chalk in their hand, struggling to find the words for what they're trying to say. Nothing really seems to come to mind. Why do I feel like this? Why am I not happier over a gift like this? Did Kaileen just talk to me because she wanted to fix me? No, never that, never that, never that. You know her best. What do you think? No. I know what you're thinking, but I don't think Kaileen wanted you to feel bad or you're afraid not being special. Don't be so ungrateful. I think she genuinely just had all the best intentions when she made this for you. I know. Kaileen doesn't have a single bad bone in her body. You guys have known each other for a long time, right? Elif nods. I've seen a lot of places and people. Kaileen was the first one who made me feel at home somewhere. So she knows you're not some kind of science experiment. Yes, I'm probably just worrying over nothing. Elif pensively rubs their chin. I can tell that they're still insecure about this. Could you go talk to her and see how she feels about it? Sure, you can count on me. Elise gestures thank you, and I get on my way to Kayleen's house. A quick look over the fence tells me Kayleen is in the garden. She's busy collecting ingredients, it seems. Hi there! Hi! We get to see your pretty garden again. Oh, night. Good that you're here. Can you hold this for a moment? Sure. She gives me 2 bowls of leaves. Now that her hands are both free, she climbs deeper into one of the flower beds and collects some moss from the ground. I knew that this stuff would come in useful. Haha! You're preparing to do some more alchemy? Yep, did you hear? I figured out how to make truth elixirs. And to think I was so close to getting it right before, I just had to tweak the timing. Those instructions I found recently were priceless. Maybe if I experiment some more, I can make it more efficient. Right, I'd been meaning to talk about... Oh, would you like a copy of the recipe too? I'd be more than happy to share it. It's not like it's a big secret or anything, it's just difficult to pull off. And as far as I know, it's the only way to cancel out Elise's curse. Elise needs your friendship more than the potion. Huh? I talked to Elise. They were happy over the gift, but also had some conflicting feelings. Their friendship with you matters a lot to them. You were the one who always talked the most with them, right? Correct. And you guys always got by without needing a potion? Oh. Oh no. I made them feel like they're just a problem to be fixed. No, not the sad girl! No, not the sad girl. I don't want the sad girl. I really should be smarter about this. No, baby. Don't beat yourself up about it. We can't always see everything. That's why I mentioned it. I wanted to do something good for Elise, to show them that I care. So I did it in the only way I know how. Oh, baby. This whole gardening and alchemy thing, it's the only thing I'm really good at. No, baby! You're wonderful. You're good at so many things. Hey, don't be modest. You're awesome in a lot of ways. I think you're already doing something great for Elise every day. They really loosen up whenever you're around. You're fun to be around. Really? Huh. Maybe I don't always understand people, right? But I like Elise, and I think they like being my friend too. Therefore, it would be dumb if we end up hurting each other if we both want the same thing. My dad always said that words matter, even if they don't come easily, especially the ones that don't come easily. I will talk this over with Elise. Good idea. I watched them from a distance. No need for me to get involved further. I think they got this. They hug. I think they came to some mutual understanding. I'm ready to leave them to spend some time by themselves, but Kayleen waves me over. Hey, you two are looking good. Yes, thank you so much for helping us work things out. We would have been perfectly fine without you. I'm glad I could assist a little. It turns out sometimes I get a bit too fixated on certain things. That's like I was saying, hyperfixation here. It's not a bad thing. You're one of the most focused people I know. Right. But there are times when my research is the only thing I see. And then I end up walking over people's feelings I've done this by accident. Whenever that happens, you guys need to verbally smack me over the head and tell me to pay attention. Haha, noted. Kayleen will be making a few more of those potions for me once we know if they'll work. Yep, but only for emergency situations. Right. It turns out if there are some times where being able to just yell at my thoughts comes in very useful. But it's something we don't need when it's just the two of us. I'm glad it's like that. Two are looking much more balanced now. I'll be seeing you guys at the Midsummer celebration too, right? You can bet on that. Is it already that time of year again? Yes, and this time you're not skipping it, silly. I know you're technically not from here, but Oberon made it very clear that anyone who behaves themselves is welcome. I go to formal events all the time. It'll be my first time at the party too. I can see why you're a little nervous, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, no need to worry. We can all hang out as a group. There will be good food, singing, dancing. Elise seems to lighten up a little. And lots of fancy dressed folks. I love people watching it. People watching is fun. Reminds me, I guess I can't go there in my overalls. From what I heard, formal dress is expected. Or at least an attempt at it. Can I still wear my hat there? I don't think anyone's going to throw you out because of it. My mind flashes to the fact I've only have one vaguely formal outfit with me. Hopefully it'll be good enough for the occasion. I have several, like, fancy outfits, 'cause I'm weird. I've been wondering, why do you celebrate Midsummer in the first place? Huh, there was a reason, but I forgot. Kaileen beat me for real, for real. Do you remember, Elise? You're better at the history stuff than me. I think it was originally it was a tradition that was swept over here by the eastern countries. But there's also a local story about the night of the year. It's about some human lovers who stumbled into these woods. Instead of hurting them, Oberon reunited the bickering couples and guided them back home. That's one of the reasons why this night got associated with love and good fortune. Wow, are we talking about the same Oberon? He seems more like someone who'd yell at humans to get off his lawn while shaking his spear at them. I don't know. Maybe it's just I think it's just a myth. Or maybe it's true and he's changed since then. How old is Lord Oberon, I wonder? Doesn't matter how old he is. Still want to romance him anyway. Sorry, that was so bad. That was so bad. In any case, there's an opportunity to snack on free food and listen to the court musicians, so I'm not complaining. That's the spirit! I think I need to get back to work. Got some more weeding to do. And I need to get my bookkeeping in order. Yikes. Sounds like fun. Ugh. You have my empathy. See you guys around, eh? Right. See ya, Knight! I know that as my healer, my official job is to heal people's physical wounds. But I don't mind helping them out with emotional ailments either. Relationships need to be cared for to stay healthy, just like our bodies. If I can lend a hand with that, I'll gladly accept the role. On the next morning, it appears that my words of healing services has gotten around. Old lady drags her husband while he's gladly declaring that no, falling off a ladder was not painful at all. His screaming was only a declaration of war against the cursed piece of equipment. We fight ladders in this household. I'm scared of heights, so, like, kind of accurate, honestly. I heal his shoulder back anyway. The old man keeps going on how he fought the battle of the rising rivers and didn't need to be pampered. He probably fought, ladders. Or did he fight rivers? Maybe he fought rivers in that war, and that's why he's not afraid of ladders. His wife rolls her eyes so hard, I'm afraid she's gonna injure herself and need treatment as well. But apparently she's a pro. Once the entire debacle is done and the old man is as good as new, I get lunch and consider how to spend the rest of the day. We go to Blossom. I'll check up on Blossom today. I'm sure she's at her little farmhouse as usual. A quick look into the garden tells me that she isn't outside right now. So I knock instead, and sure enough, I hear her reply. Come right in, the door's open. Look at the fluffy bunnies! Sorry, I'm like, beautiful person. Bunnies. Look at the bunnies. And the pie! Oh, fluffy bunny in the wool? Okay, this is cute. I love cuteness. Inside, Blossom is seated with a bunny on her lap. She's shearing off some of the fluffy fur with a pair of little scissors. Hi there, kinda got your hands full right now? You know it. Give me a few minutes, though. I'm almost done with little Beast Eater here. Is that their name? That's such a cute name! What a creative name. Well, it is! I mean, I have Flower the Fox, whose real name is Flora. But her nickname is Flower. I have Anika, in the corner. She's a doll. I have Knot, because I have Astro and Knot. So I have Knot in my lap. I have Sophie, who is a little Eevee plush. She's also in the corner. Names be creative. It's more creative than most of my names. That's one of your Anagor rabbits, right? I hope I said that right. Yippers! I always try to shear them before the fluff gets too uncomfortable for them, especially now during summer. I watch Blossom gently trim the fur around the rabbit's face and ears, and even taking a moment to trim the claws. Is that bunny sleeping? Yep, that's my magic actually. I can send these little buggers right off into dreamland. That's cool! I would love that magic just to put it on myself, honestly. Help with the insomnia. Wow, that sounds really powerful. Or I'd probably suck at using it on much larger. Oh, so it wouldn't put me to sleep. Damn it. I was so close. And yet so far. It depends on how strong the creature is and how much they're trying to. I wouldn't be trying to resist it. My rabbits are tame and easy to handle to begin with, but I let them take a nap whenever I shear them anyway. I think it makes the whole thing less stressful for them. Aw, that's kinda sweet. Anyway, I wouldn't be able to knock people out left and right. At least not via magic. Alright, I think I'm about finished with this haircut. What was it that you came here for? Oh, you recently mentioned that I could get some goat milk from you. I'd like to give that a try. No problemo. I'll just return this lady to her hutch real quick. I follow Blossom outside little bunnies and stables where she has a fenced runoff area for her rabbits, apparently divided from males and females. Smart. A lot of creatures have males and females have to be separated because they're like grrr with one another. Beast Eater happily hops off, but also separated so they don't be like, hey, you wanna make kids? that too. That popped into my head like a moment after. Alright, now about that milk. Hold on. Blossom scans the run and paces towards the shed as if she's looking for something. Crap. What's wrong? I'm missing a rabbit. I can't find Gary Gray anywhere. Banger names from Blossom. Banger names. Oh shoot. Maybe a bird of prey got them? Not a chance. Gary is an absolute giant unit. Total chunk. No hecking way a bird could have gotten him. He must have broken out somehow. One rabbit's in no! She needs all her bunnies. I'll help you look for him. Well, good luck finding him. I'll help you look for him. You couldn't have gone too far, right? What does he look like? Gray with a dark face, really big. He was next up for shearing, so he's very fluffy. Got it. We should split up. Our chances of fighting him are better like this. I'll be checking Kayleen's garden first. Though the veggies there would be really tempting for a bunny. Can you search the forest behind my garden there? Yeah, no problem. We move out. I walk along the surrounding forest near Blossom's house. A domesticated rabbit shouldn't be too difficult to spot, right? Especially when he's supposedly so large. Still, rabbits are good at hiding. There's lots of spots around here he could have copped into. There he is! Look at that massive unit! Look at your fluffy baby! Hello, Gary Gray. You are adorable, dear sir. That must be him. Now what do I do? Quick, try catching, carefully beckon him over, keep an eye on him for now. Beckon him over. Not sure how he reacted to me, but if he is very tame, I may just be able to beckon him over to me. Hey, Gary. Come here, little fella. The rabbit guards with mild suspicion at first, but then demonstrates his true power by completely ignoring me. Good enough, I suppose. Oh my gosh, you found him! Okay, well now I want to try out the other options. Come on. Quick, try catching him. Now or never. I leap at the rope and go hold of him, but the lad is surprisingly quick. Yeah, I had a feeling. I had the feeling he'd just run. So I think beckoning him over is the best option, actually. I legit thought he'd be gone forever. Oh, no. We would have found that bunny, whether it took our lives or not. Our entire lives. That's what I meant. Not our lives. I'd be concerned if the bunny killed us. It'd be the bunny from the Mighty Python. I love that movie, by the way. Blossom pets the rabbit and picks him up with ease. He doesn't protest. Thank you so much for your help. You're not bad with animals. I try very hard. Let's get this troublemaker back home. I gotta check if there's holes in the fence that he may have squeezed through. That big baby? That big baby? You little escape artist. Rename his name is no longer Gary Gray. He is now Gary the Magician. Once we're back at the house, Blossom returns Gary to the rest of the group and eventually lets the rabbits back in the shed as the evening falls. Alright, nobody's missing and the fence should be fine. That was certainly enough excitement for one day. You really care about the little fellas, don't you? Yeah, I can get pretty worked up about it. I'm responsible for these creatures after all. I mean, they're not like their wild counterparts. these bunnies wouldn't be able to survive out there. They'd get all tangled up, or they'd freeze in the cold because their fur isn't meant to get wet. They were bred in this way to benefit us, in turn I gotta nurture them. If I wouldn't be able to take care of them, I'd just feel like crap about myself. That's very responsible of you. Sorry, I went on a bit of a rant there. It's okay. To be honest, I didn't expect you to care quite so much about these little buggers. Really, why? No offense. You just look so tough. Like you could be a warrior or something. And instead, I'm brushing bunnies, huh? We all have our own things that are worth fighting for. Hi. Did you know I have a YouTube? And a Discord server? I'm not gonna do that. I was like, that seems like shameless self-promotion, but I had to let the bit go, okay? Maybe it's not objectively meaningful. It gets even better to everyone else, but it's meaningful to me. You guys mean a lot to me. You mean a lot to me. Life is nicer when you allow yourself to care about things, even if nobody else seems to be on board. Well, I care too, for all it's worth. That sounded so passive-aggressive. Hold on, let me redo that. Well, I care too, for all it's worth. I know. Oh, and before you go, I just remembered the milk. Whoa, I'd completely forgotten about that. Blossom hands me 2 bottles of goat milk. They're on the house. Don't let them go to waste. And again, thanks for the help today. I think we had a nice little adventure of our own. I spent some time at home organizing my things and slipping on milk. Slipping on milk. Milk, the thing you wear. Sipping. There we go, on milk. It was fascinating to see Blossom's softer side today. There might be much more to her yet. Next day, I get a visit from blacksmith Darla, who challenges me to heal her burns on her hands. I ask her if she doesn't wear gloves when she works, and she says of course she does. But they get sucked and ripped apart while she's doing something important. While I make sure to heal them all, she proudly asks me if I want to know where her other scars come from. I already know she's going to tell me no matter whether I want to hear it or not. The system drags on for a bit, but she leaves me with a nice tip once I'm done, so I'm not complaining. She says she has to leave because she has too many irons on the fire. I like her. After some quiet lunchtime, I ponder how to spend the rest of the day. We do Blossom again. Outside, as I step outside, my attention is quickly captured by whining noises across the street. What I initially theorized may be the sound of an injured animal is actually just Moth being himself. He does look a lot more disheveled than usual. Hey, buddy, my brother apparently dated you. For viewers who stumble across this and are like, huh? This model and my main model are siblings. So, I will be constantly joking with this model and the other one that, oh, my sister, what'd she do this time? Or, oh, my brother, he dated your ass. Stuff like that, because I find it hilarious. Oh, I saw something. Okay. Oh, my poor tortured soul. What's a man to do? Take a breath and tell me what the problem is, Popsicle Stick. The problem is that Lord Oberon is going to tear me apart like badly made felt. Come again? Moth pinches the bridge of his nose and tries to compose himself. The Lord himself showed up to my shop just now. And he brought along with him an array of garments that servants and other employees of his court intend to wear at the evening of the midsummer celebration. So, like, fancy dresses and stuff. Exactly. All the garments he brought are in need of repair in one way or another. Ripped seams, loose buttons, you know the deal. He asked that I fix them for him, so they are suitable to be worn again. Wow, he's coming with this stuff now? Yes, apparently Lord Genius didn't care to get this handled at a more reasonable time. You don't know the state that some of these dresses are in, Blossom. It is dire. I have laid eyes upon true horror. Oh man, that bad? At least they are clean. But even just restoring a single one of these would usually take me half a day. Oberon wants it done by tonight. Holy smokes. Then why are you just standing here whining about it instead of working? Because all hope is lost. There's no way I'll finish this in time. Unless you have some idea on how to solve this problem. You're good at solving problems. Yeah, usually by punching them. I have a feeling that won't help here. Moth sighs. Knight, you've been listening too, haven't you? Yes. Sorry. I was curious what all the agitation was about. And the drama. It's fine. Perfectly fine. Do you, by any chance, have any idea what I should do? Otherwise, Lord Oberon is gonna lock me up in dungeon for eternity. I don't think he'd actually do that, but hey, whatever fuels your vague fantasies. And what's worse, my reputation will be ruined. Come on, Moth, you can do it. Maybe stop being such a perfectionist. Wow, thank goodness that's not my problem. That sucks to be you, but I'm out. I can help you out. Hey, yeah, I'd be up for that too. What? I can't just rub my work off to a bunch of running Stitch amateurs. No offense. I have high standards. I need to make sure that everything I deliver is top quality. Oh, get over yourself, you giant man baby. I'll let you know that I can actually pull off a really good ladder stitch. I may not be as skilled as you, but I certainly won't make things worse. Maybe you're the only tailor in this town, Moth, but you're not the only one that can patch up a pair of stockings. We can at least help out with some smaller tasks, so you got some more. You got all that, right? We can at least help out with some small tasks, so you get more time for the bigger fixes. You guys would really do that? Don't you have more important jobs to do? I'll have to take the occasional break to look after my critters, but other than that, I'm free today. Same here. Aww, you lot are the best. Alright, let's get this fashion venture on the way. Moth is clearly invigorated by our support. While he exaggerated the level of damage on the garments a little bit, it was very clear that they needed some work before they can be worn again. It's almost a bit of a culture shock. The outfits of the royal court are very different than the regular clothes I see fairies in town wear. The garishly combined silk fabrics of the court musicians' costumes are particularly eye-straining. Oberon is lucky I'm on a tight schedule, otherwise I'd insist on remaking half of these outfits. Everyone's entitled to their own lapse of taste. No reason to pop their bubble. Blossom, dear, don't forget to strengthen that linen thread with some beeswax. It's in the sewing kit. While it has been a while since I learned needlework, even I can't mess up reattaching a button. I also make myself useful by preparing scandal water, which Moth assures me is the modern way to say tea. No, just say tea, please. Just say tea. And by pressing garments with a flat iron. So much pressing. Half a tailor's work is pressing, dear. It really trains those shoulders. Needless to say, I'm learning a lot today. What I expected to be daunting work turns out to be a rather cheerful afternoon. Dare I say it? I'm actually having fun. And considering the goal of the entire mission, we're making good progress as well. Moth is obviously the fastest and most skilled at patching up clothes, but Blossom seems are nothing to scoff at either. The fact that we're helping out is clearly making an impact. Our work is slowly nearing its end when the sun is barely starting to set. How are you doing with that dress? Quite excellently, though I can't imagine how the owner even got the ruffles in such disorder. Maybe they were attacked by a dog. Or they had a rough night with a lycomorph. Yikes, add that to the scenario I'd rather not have had a mental image of. Personally, I wouldn't judge. To each their own. Just then there's a firm knock at the door. Shouldn't have said that. Now the freak police are coming for you. Oh no, I bet this is Oberon or one of his servants. Moth's first instinct is to throw himself behind the counter and pretend he isn't here. We're not done. I haven't even taken care of this petticoat yet. Oh, what to do? There's another knock. It sounds pretty insistent. I guess I have to be the one to answer the door, huh? Blossom puts aside the pantaloons she was patching up and investigates the source of the knocking. Sure enough, it's one of Oberon's servants, one of the more bulky ones. Possibly a guard who was ordered to do one more errand before his workday ends. What's up? I was sent to collect the garments that our lord left here for the purpose of repair. Yeah, well, we're not done yet. What? We still got a few things to patch up, but close to done. Come back in 2 hours or something. 2 hours? This is unacceptable. My shift is about to end. Then tell someone else to come by. Sheesh. Or, if the lord is so wild about these clothes, tell him to pick them up himself. Such impertinence! I could place an order to have everyone in this house arrested. Do you understand? Yeah, great idea. You want to be responsible for arresting the only tailor in town when the lord needs him most? Listen, buddy, I know your job is tough, but we're already working with 3 people to get this done. There's no way to speed this up? Maybe. Just stop interrupting us. Before the guard can retort, Blossom closes the door on him. Blossom badass. Blossom cool. The nerve of these people. Blossom, you are my savior. Come again? I didn't think I would have kept a straight face so easily. You sure that they won't come back with multiple guys to drag me off? Ugh, no. If they do, I'll send them off to Dreamland with my sleep magic. Those guys are all bark and no bite. I think we have some peace and quiet for now. Then how about we get back to these pantaloons? Right. We resume our task of trying to work quickly but diligently. From what I've heard, everyone is kind of intimidated by Lord Oberon. I'm telling you, he's not so bad. Sure, he's strong. As in, ridiculously powerful. Nobody knows his exact age. He's certainly older than he looks. But he's also just a fairy, like us. And he values hard work. He's not simply some kind of pampered royal. Guy has seen some shit. His main job is to keep us all safe. That mostly involves diplomacy. I swear I was able to say this yesterday. Diplomacy? No. Diplomats. That word. Or tearing invaders to shreds, depending on the situation. He's still fun troublemakers, but we're not making trouble. We're making fashion! That's why he has no reason to harm us. I wish his little footman would be equally as chill about it. Who knows? Maybe he will actually be impressed with my work. If I could prove myself to the Lord himself and gain closer contact to the court, everyone in the highest circles would know my name. You deserve it, man. Just don't forget the people who helped you get there. Moth seems to think about that for a while as we finish our work. A little while later, every broken seam is fixed and every missing button and ornament is replaced. We're just packing everything up for transport when there's another knock. This one is less obnoxious and in a sense sounds like it was made by a very big hand. Moth looks like if he wants to leave behind the counter again, but then he remembers that he does, in fact, have all his work done. I suppose it's my turn this time. My lord! Moth quickly bows down so low I'm afraid he's going to snap himself in half. Oberon needs to bow his head too as he comes in, although so avoid bumping against the door frame. Good evening to you all. It's the Hot King. Hello, Lord Oberon. You've arrived in the perfect moment. We were just finished. Excellent. Let me take a look. Oberon inspects the restored garments. Neatly fixed and pressed as well. I can't imagine them looking any better. As promised, here's your payment. He hands over a bag of coins. I can tell from the sight alone it's not a small sum. My lord, this seems to be a fair bit more than we had agreed on. It is no mistake. Consider it a tip. You've done good work, and I am impressed that you finished your duties on such short notice. Oh, well... Moth pauses a moment and looks at us. I'll be honest, I could only get everything done in time thanks to my friends here. Interesting. Miss Blossom, well done. 'Tis nothing. And young knight, I see you were aiding this community not only through healing. Oh, I'm pretty sure I would have lost 10 years of my lifespan on this day if it weren't for her and Blossom. Little Brown lets out a deep chuckle that rumbles through the tailor shop. I shouldn't try not to strain you as much next time, young moth. Until then, I wish you all good night. He picks up his bag of garments and returns outside. Phew! That went quite swimmingly, didn't it? Told you he was cool. Kind of a shame he didn't stay for tea. Oh, to be honest, I'm done with this day. Time to lay down and rest this poor tormented spine. Oof, same. But first, before you two leave, Moth gets the bag of coins and hands us each a third of the payment. Oh man, you know I can't accept this. Right, we didn't do it for the money. We did it for the money. Shut up. No, I insist. You know I don't like being indebted to people. Maybe someday I can repay you both with the equivalent labor of friendship. But until then, good lord, the two of you need to afford some better shoes for yourself. Pfft, okay, I'm keeping the money for that comment alone. With this, a busy day comes to an end. After wishing Moth a good night, I walk Blossom home. We're neighbors after all. I don't know about you, but I could really use a good night's sleep. Me too. I'm gonna have sore shoulders from all that pressing. But hey, I think we did a pretty darn good job. I'm glad you came along. Helping friends in a pinch is the right thing to do. My word, it's nice to know the new neighbor isn't afraid to help out when there's work to be done. When you ever find yourself in trouble, you know what to do. Just hit up one of us. I will. Thanks, Blossom. I'll be seeing you around, right? Yes, have a good night. Once at home, I drop into bed almost instantly. Nobody warned me that ironing would leave my shoulders feeling like mush. This is the nice kind of exhaustion, though. The feeling of a good day's work and some newly made friends. Over the course of the day, I get multiple visitors. The local bookbinder somehow managed to get his hand badly stuck in the book press. He's whining, but it's nothing dramatic. Some kids come by and ask if I can fix their scraped knees. They seem more curious than in pain. Of course I help, and I don't even charge them anything for it. They were cute, and it's not like kids have a lot of money anyway. As noon comes around, things have calmed down a bit, and I decide it's a good time for a walk. So we finish them, and so now we just speed run somebody. Let's do a Leith. Oh, shit. Okay, here we go. It is, yes. It is the day of the midsummer celebration. The weather looks quite pleasant. Let's hope it stays that way until the evening when the party starts. Question is, do I ask someone out? With everything I've experienced since I've arrived, I've begun to know some of the townspeople fairly well. I could connect to some of them more easily than to others. If I'm going to ask one of them on a date, I'll have to decide now. And now we save this so we can do both of them. And let's do Kaileen first. I've made up my mind. I'm going to ask Kaileen if she'll go to the midsummer celebration with me. Some clattering from the direction of her garden quickly tells me where to find her. Kaileen is quietly humming to herself. Hi there! What are you up to? Just getting bits of work done before tonight. Chances are I'll be sleeping late after the party, so I'd like to have everything in order beforehand. Right. About the midsummer celebration. I'd like to ask you something. It's kind of important. I'm listening. How about we go there, together? As a date. You mean like a romantic date? Yep. Oh, that sounds very acceptable. Quite lovely even. Really? Yes, let's do it. Whew. I'm so relieved. I honestly wasn't sure you'd say yes. I have enough information about you to make a prediction on how successful a date will be, and I have a very good feeling. It can be a test run to see how compatible we truly are. Yeah, it's exciting. I can see you still have some work here, but how about we meet in front of Oberon's residence at 6 p.m.? Great, I'll be there. On my way back home, there's a spring in my step. I have a chance to spend more time with Kaileen. I take my time preparing for the festivities. While I haven't thought of an elaborate amount of fancy garment, haven't brought an elaborate amount of fancy garments with me, I think I'll get by just fine with what I have. A graceful cape, a shirt vest combo with something outrageous like, I don't know, pants. Yes, I think that will serve me well. I also do some cleaning so the house isn't a mess when I get back. In the meantime, I realize just how little I know about the customs for midsummer celebration around here. Are there pieces of court etiquette I should absolutely pay attention to? I don't want to embarrass myself. Well, I'm sure if there's anything I need to know, Kaileen will tell me. By the time evening comes around, I throw on my outfit and make extra sure that I'm not wearing anything inside out. Alright, looking sharp. Time to do this. As I approach the residence, there's no sign of Kaileen yet, so I just wait. I can already see Nord and Atlas hurry inside. Of course they go together. Elite arrives shortly after, and making themselves known with a short whistle as to not startle me. Hey, you look like a scarecrow. Thank you? I'd take that as a compliment, honestly. Thanks, you're looking pretty fresh yourself. At least, I assume they were trying to compliment me. Hey ya! Hi, Blossom! Nice dress night. You too, Elite. You are really attached to that hat, though, huh? I heard you snatched it from some human postman. It's a postman hat? That's cute. Elise shakes their head and mimics a posh salute. A police officer? You're absolutely nuts. Anyway, I think homebuddy here is waiting for a date, so we shouldn't goof up the romantic atmosphere. How have the news about my date with Kaileen already spread? Dude, this is her best friend. Of course she told her best friend, hey, I got a date. Want to take a look inside? Sure, I can give you a tour. You guys have fun. I'm sure we'll meet each other later. Roger that. After they skedaddled into the throne room, I shuffled my feet for another minute or two. But it's not long until Look at the pretty outfit. She's so pretty. Until Kaileen turns around the corner and waves excitedly at me. Hi. Oh my gosh, you look really pretty. So do you. You look gorgeous, Kaileen. I have to move this. It keeps moving. Keep saying, hey. Pay attention to me. But yeah, you look really pretty too, Kaileen. So do you. This is the first time I'm seeing her without her usual overalls. With the gloves from her right hand missing. With the glove from her right hand missing, and the slight bend of her pointing finger is visible. Probably the result of many hours of digging and weeding. She's absolutely beautiful. You really like it? I was afraid I'd end up being a bit underdressed. No, I think you got it perfectly right. As Moth would say, that dress is doing a lot for you, darling. Kaileen giggles and offers me her arm. Let's go see how everyone else is doing, right? The two of us enter the throne room. I've been in this place before, but it hadn't looked then. But the way it looked then doesn't compare in the slightest to the current view. With what a previous daunting, large, echoing hall with muted lights and now a bright, inviting ballroom brimming with music and cheerful conversation. Wow, they really did great work on the hall. It looks amazing. I'll be honest, I didn't believe this place could look so lively. It's a lot, isn't it? Come on, I can show you around. We blend into the crowd. I don't know anyone here, but it's an interesting mix of people nonetheless. It consists mostly of fairies, but I spot some lycomorphs and lizard people in the ballroom. There are partygoers of all occupations. While the nobles seem to prefer staying among their kind, everyone is mixed and getting along quite well. Meanwhile, servants are moved diligently through the hall, offering snacks and drinks on their trays. Lord Oberon and Lady Tatiana are busy greeting the high-status visitors. I see Oberon bows respectfully to must be the leader of the neighboring lycomorph settlement, who returns the gesture. After this formal greeting, they pat each other's backs and loosen up noticeably, even exchange some jokes. It's almost uncanny to see those two massive forces of nature drink a toast and laugh as if they're old friends who only get to see each other once or twice a year. Heck, that's probably exactly what they are. Walking around here is like watching a busy beehive. It's so fascinating. You're right, it can be a bit overwhelming. I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels that. What do you usually do while you're here? In the last few years, I hung out with my older sisters, but they couldn't make it this year. Aww. Oh, you have sisters? Yep, two. They work in Pittsburgh and usually come home for holidays like this if their schedules allowed it. You know, usually the oldest sibling would be the one to take over the house and the garden. But for us, there's a consensus that I'd continue Dad's work even though I'm the youngest. It's cool you didn't have to fight over it. Iris and Heather would rather live in the less rural environment, and they knew that my connection to the garden was strong. So they moved to Pittsburgh with my mom to work as teachers. I always keep the guest rooms ready in case they want to crash here for a while. It's pretty new for me to not meet them here during midsummer. I'm actually feel a bit lost. It's alright, it's my first time here too. We can be lost together. Kaileen giggles at that. Sounds good to me. There's a pause from the court musicians and the attention focuses onto the royal couple. Something happening over there? It's time for Oberon and Tatiana to lead the dance. Right, I'd been wondering why everyone's just standing around so far. Here's how it works. The Lord and Lady open the dance, and then the other noble couples follow, and finally all the commoners join. This still is such a beautiful, beautiful drawing. Beautiful scene. Is it only partner dance for now? Correct! The freeform dance begins later. As Kaileen described, the center of the hall slowly fills up with waltzing couples. The ongoing partygoers occasionally react with cheers or applause when Oberon and Tatiana display a particularly elegant move. They've clearly done this many times. Do you like dancing? I may be a bit rusty when it comes to ballroom dance, but I enjoy it. Would you like to give it a try? Sure, I don't really know when the lady steps in. I've always had to play the male part when we practice the waltz. In that case, you can dance the guy part. I don't mind. Alright, now we're talking. Kaileen takes me by the hand and leads me to the dance floor. Her movements are precise, almost to the point where they look kind of stiff. While she doesn't look uncomfortable, I have a feeling she's not used to being close to someone like that. Well, like this. I also spot Nord and Atlas in the crowd, twirling around and laughing whenever one steps on the other's foot. As more pairs join in, the dance turns into a game of avoiding collisions with other couples. Surprisingly, Kaileen's movements become more smooth and loose with this additional challenge. I can quickly tell why. The part of her brain that thrives on quick problem solving is engaged. Judging by her playful expression, strategically leading me across the ballroom and making sure I'm not hit by other people's waving limbs is fun for her. I'll be honest, I'm enjoying myself too. So I simply allow her to guide me as I keep up the pace. A little while later, the tunes become more folksy and the atmosphere clearly becomes more casual. The dance floor is now flooded with people who dance in groups or solo. Getting a glimpse of Elise teaching some dance steps to Blossom and Moth is fun, but also getting more noisy and crowded in here by the minute. Some of the guests appear to have overindulged in the punch that's offered at the buffet. This is getting a bit too much for me. Agreed. How about we take a stroll outside? I was just about to ask the same thing. We move outside the residence and follow the river. There's a little hi Nord. There's a little campfire near the riverside, and Nord sits on one of the logs that surround it, waving us over. Hey, could you guys watch the fire for a moment? Sure, where you going? Gotta check if Atlas got lost on his way to get some snacks. Nord dashes off in the direction of the residence, and we sit on the makeshift benches. Compared to the ruckus inside, the scenery is pleasantly quiet. The river peacefully gurges on, the fire crackles, and the air is still. Kaileen takes off her shoes and stretches her limbs. This is a lot nicer than the party. Blah, blah, blah. This is a lot nicer than the party. 'Cause it's less noisy? Yep, it's easier to talk here. Also, I can do this now. She pats the grass behind her. A flower quickly grows in the spot where she touched, and she hands it to... That's cute. That is the cutest power to have. Being able to make flowers grow. That's so cute. It makes sense that she'd feel more comfortable in a place where she could freely use her magic. Is this a crocus? Oh, they're pretty. Yep. It's obviously not their time of year to bloom. I was about to say, don't they grow in winter? But it's what I was feeling right now. Aww. Wow, you're good at this. Thank you. I turn the beautiful yellow flower in my hand, then decide to attach it to my hood for the rest of the evening. Hey, Knight. I'm kind of curious. Have you ever kissed... Oh, hi. Yes? Hopefully this isn't some kind of chastity question, but in any case, I can be honest. Romance wasn't really a part of my life before I came here. Something I thought about, sure, but never came up in the way it did now. I actually haven't, unless you count the cheek smooches that were inflicted on me during every family reunion. I know what you mean. How about you? Have you kissed someone before? It's only fair if I get to return the question. Yes, my first kiss wasn't really— Oh, baby, what happened? Baby? Was it really great, though? Oh, why's that? I mean, I wasn't expecting angelic choir to pop up as I float on a cloud of rose petals or something ridiculous like that, but basically I was at a spring festival, kind of similar to the midsummer celebration. Must have been like 2 years ago now. And this one guy, I didn't even know him that well, decided to kiss me. Like, boom, out of nowhere. How rude. Did you slap him? No, I said he should have asked for it, and he told me to lighten up. Hell no. Where's that man? Show me that man. Then I went away. Good call. Needless to say, it wasn't very romantic. It had just felt kind of cold and wet. When I told my aunt about it, she said that every first kiss is a stolen one. And I think that's— how do people always say? Bullshit? Yeah, exactly. That. I guess technically kissing isn't too different from being slapped in the face with a wet cloth. But if you do it with someone you genuinely like, I bet it could be really nice. I think so too. Still can't help but grin over the wet cloth comparison. Hey, Knight, would you like to kiss? I had a feeling that's where this was going. My posture instantly straightens itself. Like, now? You? Who else, dummy? Kaileen nods. I'd like to. Yay! But since it's your first kiss, I say we do it properly, so you actually get a sweet memory of it. Sure, what do I do? Kaileen carefully cups my face with one of her hands. Tilt your head a little bit to the side. Close your eyes and we'll go slow. I do as she says and— Oh, we gonna kiss? Her hand pets my hair as she presses her lips into mine. She feels so soft. For a moment, Kaileen gently nibbles on my lower lip. Then we slowly part ways again. Was that nice? Amazing, splendiferous, fantastic. Yes, that felt really good. I thought so too. She leans against my shoulder, and I wrap my cape across her back. You know, I think I'll count this as my first kiss now. Aww. I'm sure we can get even better at it with practice too. We cuddle in front of the fire as I consider that tonight was my first real date ever too. And the first time I decided dance with someone in a fancy ballroom. I realize Kaileen and me are probably going to have many first times together, and I'm looking forward to them. This is a warm, comfortable moment of affection. One that couldn't possibly be interrupted or disturbed, or no one could possibly ruin this beautiful moment besides Mr. Jester. Hey guys, we're back. Hey. Good evening, you two. Sheesh, I'd forgotten about Norden Atlas. Are we interrupting something? Only a little bit. This is your fire, though, so sit down, fellas. Come on. Maybe we can pacify you with some stick bread and other culinary delights. That'd be more than acceptable. Atlas shows us a bowl of campfire food he brought. Meat, vegetables, bread dough. He even acquired some marshmallows, though he insists on calling the candy that name instead. I'm pretty sure his pronunciation is off, but I humor him. We spend the rest of the night telling stories by the fire, roasting food, and goofing around. I almost can't believe how at home I already feel here. It was only a week ago that I arrived in this town, unsure whether I would fit in. And now I've not only found new friends, but also a woman with an absolutely beautiful mind I can share all my love with. This is a joyful night. And one that I hope is only the first of many to come. Oh, look how pretty! She's so pretty! Okay. And then the little cute credits. And now we do Blossom. I've made up my mind. I'm going to ask Blossom if she'll go to the midsummer celebration with me. Finding her is easy. I'll just follow the sound of wood being split and eventually spot her behind her house. Hey, Knight. Hard at work? Hey, I'm trying to get all my chores done before the evening. Blah, blah, blah. On the rare occasion that I go to a party, I like having not to worry about work. Same. But you're going. That's neat. Yep. Say, would you like to go together? You mean as a date? Yes. Yeah, sure, let's do it. Really? Yep. Wait, was I supposed to prepare a speech? No. I just didn't have a plan for when you'd actually say yes. I think you're neat, and I like to get to know you some more. That's reason enough in my books. To be honest, I'm a little surprised you asked me. Why so? I'm not really the most exciting person. You are the most exciting. You have bunnies. You're incredibly exciting. I mean, you probably had some really neat adventures with the other folks here, even for the short amount of time you've been here. My lifestyle is pretty boring in comparison. Not at all. I love it. I love your bunnies. This is really all there is to me. And that's enough, Blossom. Don't make yourself smaller than you are. I fidget with my hands and I can feel the blood rushing to my cheeks, but I managed the courage to hold eye contact with her. I think you deserve the world, but knowing what you're like, you'd be too humble to take it. Nah, damn it. Now you're making me blush. I know you've still got some work to do, but how about we meet in front of Oberon's residence at 6 in the evening? It's a date, handsome. On my way back home, there's a spring in my step. I have a chance to spend some more time with Blossom. This will be great. I take my time preparing for the festivities. While I haven't brought an elaborate amount of fancy garments with me, I think I'll get by just fine with what I have. A graceful cape, a shirt and vest combo, and something outrageous like, I don't know, pants. Yes, I think that'll serve me well. I do some cleaning around the house so it isn't a mess. In the meantime, I know very little about the customs of the midsummer celebration. Are there little pieces of court etiquette that I should be paying attention to? I don't want to embarrass myself. If there's anything I need to worry about, Blossom will surely tell me. By the time evening comes around, I throw on my outfit and make extra sure that I'm not wearing anything inside out. Alright, looking sharp. Time to do this. As I approach the residence, I can already see Nord and Atlas hurry inside. Of course, those two would go together. Elith arrived shortly afterwards, making themselves known with a short whistle as to not startle me. Hey, you look like a scarecrow. Thanks, you're looking pretty fresh yourself. At least, I assumed they were trying to compliment me. Waiting for Blossom? That's right. Apparently word about our date has already gotten around. Elith tips their hat and mimes what I decipher as break a leg. Thanks. I hope you have a good night too. After they vanish in the throne room, I only need to wait around for a minute or so until Blossom walks down the street. They seem surprisingly comfortable. She seems surprisingly comfortable in her fancy attire and is looking frankly stunning in it. Yeah, it suits her. It looks really nice. I love the rose in the hair the most. It's really pretty. Hey, I didn't leave you waiting, did I? Nope, you're on the dot. I was just a bit early. Well, you're looking adorable. Ready for a posh summer ball? I was born ready. The two of us enter the throne room. I've been in this place before, but the way it looked then doesn't compare to slice to the current view. While the previous was daunting, echoing hall with muted lights, it's now a bright, inviting ballroom brimming with music and cheerful conversation. Pretty impressive, huh? I'll be honest, I didn't believe this place could look so lively. There aren't even a lot of people here yet. Wait until later this evening. That's when the party usually gets really wild. Though, that's also when the drunken brawls tend to start, so maybe we shouldn't stick around until that point. Agreed. Just slightly. We blend into the crowd. I don't know anyone around here, but it's an interesting mix of people nonetheless. It consists mostly of fairies, but I also spot some lycomorphs and lizards people in the ballroom. There are partygoers of all occupations, and the nobles tend to stay to themselves, but everyone is mixed and getting along quite well. And the servants are moving diligently and offering snacks and drinks on their trays. Lord Oberon and Tatiana are busy greeting the high-status visitors. Oberon bows respectfully for what must be the leader of the lycomorph settlement, who returns it. After the formal greeting, they pat each other in the backs and loosen up noticeably, even exchange some jokes. This is uncanny of two forces of nature drink a toast, and laugh as if they're old friends who only get to see each other once or twice a year. Heck, that's probably exactly what they are. Blossom recognizes some of her school friends and waves them over. Oh, Jerry, over here. The banter between them is lighthearted without dragging on for too long. Lots of, what have you been up to? How's business going? Until they part ways once again. Events like this is nice for chatting up with old acquaintances. It's usually the main reasons why I come here. Not too fond of the whole sparkly royal framework, huh? You know me. I'll throw on the same dress I wear every year and chat some people up, but I don't really feel the need for fancy etiquette. Even those glittery nobles over there are just regular people like you and me. They eat, sleep, lead like everyone else. They just do it on a higher budget. That's true. Oh, my voice cracked. I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. Speaking of nobles, is something happening over there? Oh yeah, looks like it's time for Oberon and Tatiana to lead the dance. Right, I'd been wondering why everyone has just been standing around so far. Here's how it works. The Lord and Lady open the dance, then other noble couples join in. After that, dirty old peasants like us can go to the dance floor too. Is it only partner dances for now? Yep, the freeform dance starts later. As Blossom described, the center of the hall slowly fills up with waltzing couples. The onlooking partygoers occasionally react with cheers or applause when Oberon and Tatiana display a particularly elegant move. They've clearly done this so many times. So, want to dance too? Sure. I'm afraid I'm not an expert at ballroom dance, to say the least. Don't worry. Me neither. So I won't get put before the party inquisition for bumping into a person or two? Ah! No. We won't stand out much if we rhythmically step from side to side for a bit. Blossom takes me by the hand and leads me to the dance floor. We do our basic emergency waltz, which feels awkward and stiff at first. We manage to ease into a smooth, swaying motion. I also spot Nord and Atlas in the crowd, twirling around and laughing whenever one steps on the other's foot. As more pairs join in, the dance turns into a game of avoiding collisions with other couples. Tipsy nobles incoming from your left. Invasive maneuver! After a few songs, we decide to pause on some refreshments. I'll fetch us some drinks. Do you prefer booze or non-booze? So far, this party has been very bearable without being drunk, so I'll stick to non-booze. I make my way through the crowd and pour some juice for us at the nearby buffet. Of course, the path I've dug through the hall has already inconveniently closed itself up with people, so I must once again struggle my way back. As I'm trying to figure out how to squeeze past a giant alligator person, I notice from afar that Blossom is getting approached by a Lipgloss. Uh-oh. Hey, sweetheart. Nice potato sack you're wearing there. Excuse me? Really pronounces those hips of yours. Not that it was necessary. Oh, shoot. My deity's getting shit-talked by some idiot. I need to get back there and get through here and back her up. Then again, I guess she doesn't need me to swoop in and rescue her. Blossom would take care of herself. Heck, she could probably wrestle a bear and win. And still, I want to be there. Your outfit is pretty rad. I like those shoulder pads. Sorry, I don't take compliments from sewer rats. So you're here to just insult random people, huh? Weak. Oh, boo-hoo. Did I hurt your feelings? You fairies are so overly sensitive. Right. Tell me more about that sometime when I'm not walking away. With that, Blossom turns her heel and makes a beeline towards the other side of the room. For some reason, she has less trouble pushing through the crowd than I do. It might have to do with the fact that she looks like she's on her way to murder someone. Uh-oh. I finally managed to push past the alligator tail in my way and hurry to catch up to Blossom before she vanishes in the crowd. Ah, thank goodness. I was worried we'd lose each other in here if I go someplace else. No problem at all. I heard some of the encounter you had with the mean girl over there. Ugh, sorry you had to witness that. Are you alright? Yeah, I'll be perfectly fine once the desire to throw hands with her has worn off. I kinda expected you to outright do that. She was really rude. Some people just want to cause trouble wherever they go. That doesn't mean I gotta let them ruin my evening. They're not the boss of me. That's pretty strong, honestly. I don't think I could have just walked away like that. Especially because it would have been pretty easy to roast her back. Yeah, the colors on her dress looked like someone had spilled compost on them. But that's because lycomorphs don't see colors the way we do. Oh, right. I'd almost forgotten they were practically big doggos. So pointing that out would have been kind of unfair, and since she wouldn't have cared about it anyway. It simply would have given her more of a reason to misbehave. There are times to raise your fists, and times to raise your voice, and there are times when you should let it go because you're the bigger person. Gotta pick your battles, you know? Hey, cheers to that. We clink our glasses together, and the rest of the evening continues smoothly. As the music transitions into a more snappy rhythm, people begin flooding the dance floor as groups. Elite is teaching some dance steps to Kaileen and Moth, or at least they try their hardest to copy them. Hilarity ensues, that's how you say that word. The atmosphere clearly becomes more casual, but also a bit noisier, and since some of the guests have appear to have overindulged in the punch that was ordered in the buffet. Drunken brawls. To move my headphones because it was starting to hurt my ear. The racket here is getting a bit too much. Wanna head out? Yes. We move outside the residence and stroll by the river. There's a little campfire near the riverside, and Nord sits on one of the logs surround it, waving us over. Hey, could you guys watch over the fire for a moment? Sure, where are you going? Gotta check if Atlas got lost on his way to get some snacks. Nord dashes off in the direction of the residence, and we take a seat on the makeshift benches. Compared to the ruckus inside, the scenery is pleasantly quiet. The river peacefully I said this perfectly, like not even 10 minutes ago. On, and the fire crackles, and the air is still. Blossom leans against my shoulder. You know, I could stay like this forever. It's really beautiful here, isn't it? Yeah, I don't just mean the scenery, though. Smooth. That was really smooth. I mean, the two of us being here together. She feels softer than I expected. I was actually a bit scared of this for a long time. Scared of what? Being with someone? Yes. Taking the risk of loving someone is always a bit scary, isn't it? I guess it depends. When you choose to care about someone, there's always the risk of losing them. That's true. That's very true. Exactly. I've often heard people talk about their relationships as if they're the ultimate codependency. Like you can't live without that person. They're the thing you need to be complete. Uh-oh. That idea was always scary to me. How can I be strong when I depend on another person in order to live happily? Is that even healthy? That's a great question. I like being independent. It's not something I want to throw away. I think about it for a moment. Maybe you don't need to be dependent, though. Both partners can be free, but their lives are still richer for being entwined. Yeah, that's what I'm starting to think, too. It would be a loss if that connection would fall apart, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. You seem like someone solid enough to get by on their own just fine. And that's something I paid attention to when we met. I really like that about you. Thanks. I think you're really solid too. I meant that. But now it feels like an awkwardly phrased compliment. Plus you're beautiful and responsible and really fun to be around. Blossom giggles, and I think I can see her blush a little in the light of the fire. Oh man, this is gonna sound super unromantic. I don't need you in my life, Knight. Damn! Hey, you know, I think we can really build a relationship together and, you know, learn how to be together. I don't need you in my life. What did I do? What are you saying to screw me for? But I want you in my... Okay, just had to wait. I had to wait a second. But I want you in my life. I really, really want you in it. I think that's romantic as heck. Yep. I gently wrap my cape over her shoulder. I'm really glad you're in my life too, Blossom. Is this love? Honey, don't ask me. It might be. I don't think I care how it's called. I like it. Agreed. We snuggle in front of the fire while my heart tells me that this date was the exact right thing to do. It's warm, uncomfortable moment of affection. One that possibly couldn't be disturbed, ruined, interrupted. You know, nah, could never be possibly by this little jester. Hey guys, we're back. Hi, Nord. Good evening, you two. Hi, Atlas. Are we interrupting something? Only a little bit. This is your fight, though, so sit down, fellas. Come on. Maybe we can pacify you with some stick bread and other culinary delights? That would be more than acceptable. Atlas shows us the bowl of campfire food he brought. Meat, vegetables, bread dough. He even acquired some marshmallows, though he insists on calling the candy that word instead. I'm pretty sure his pronunciation is off, but I humor him. We spend the rest of the night telling stories by the fire and roasting food and goofing around. I can't believe how at home I already feel here. It was only a week ago that I arrived in this town, unsure whether I would fit in. And now I not only found new friends, but a strong-hearted woman that I can learn to love. This is a joyful night, and one that I can only hope is the first of many to come. Pretty! And now, we have one last thing to do. One last thing. No date. I won't ask anyone out on the date, but that doesn't mean I'll be alone. It'll be a chance to hang out with the friends I've made, to absorb the local culture. After the wakeful event I had, it's fair to say I've earned a relaxing night off. I take my time preparing, we're going to skip through that. Well, I'm sure if there's anything I need to know, the others will tell me. By the time evening rolls around. As I approach the residence, I see Nord and Atlas hurry inside. Of course they'd go together. I consider calling out to them, but I'll wait for the others first, and I'll catch up with those two later. Alith makes themselves known with a short whistle as they arrive. Ready to blow this place up? Absolutely, so long as we're not being literal. I'm guessing the party schedule doesn't involve strategic arson, but then again, local traditions can be dodgy like that. Hey, let's set it on fire! Set it on fire! Heya. Hi, Blossom. Nice dress, Knight. You too, Elise. You're really attached to that hat, though, huh? I just snapped it from Human Postman. Elise shakes their head and mimics a ostrich salute. A police officer? You're absolutely nuts. Oh, you're all looking lovely. I'm not underdressed, right? Not at all. Nah, don't worry. Your outfit's perfect, girl. Elise nods. Did someone say outfit? And there's Mr. Dramatic. It's the local style icon. Fashionably late. You're supposed to always save the best for last. I'm surprised there aren't more frills on you. You know the rule, dearie. Dress nice, but not too extravagantly than the host. Not more extravagantly than the hosts. Nord and Atlas are already inside, so how about we join them? Yes, let's get this party started. We enter the throne room. I've been in this place before, but it doesn't compare. Well, the way it looked then doesn't compare to the light is to the current view. What was previously a daunting, large, echoing hall is now a bright, inviting ballroom. Whoa, it's really pretty. I'll be honest, I didn't believe this place could look so lively. Not used to it, eh? Worry not. I can show you around. We blend into the crowd. I don't know anyone around here, but it's an interesting mix of people nonetheless. They mostly have fairies, but I spot some lycomorphs and lizard people in the ballroom. There are partygoers of all occupations, and while the nobles seem to prefer staying among their kind, everyone is mixing and getting along quite well. Meanwhile, servants are move diligently through the hall, offering snacks and drinks on their trays. Lord Oberon and Lady Tatiana are busy greeting the high-stress visitors. He bows to the leader of the lycomorph settlement, who returns the gesture. This formal greeting, they pat each other's back, loosen up noticeably, exchange some jokes. It's almost uncanny to see these two massive forces drink a toast and laugh as if they're old friends that only see each other once or twice a year. Heck, that's probably exactly what they are. I spend some time drifting around the ballroom, checking in on what the others are doing. Blossom is catching up with some school friends, Moth is chatting up potential customers, and Leith and Kaileen are relaxing and people watching. I occasionally see Leith stuffing durable food into their bag when nobody else is looking, insisting that it's not stealing if it was free stuff anyway. Eventually we get together for some drinks. Ugh, that lizard pair keeps blocking the buffet. Punch them! No, this is a formal event. The only punch that's allowed here is the kind served in cups. Elith is visibly trying to hold back a laugh. There's a pause from the court musicians and the attention focuses onto the royal couple. Something happening over there? It's time for Oberon and Tatiana to lead the dance. Right, I'd been wondering why everyone was standing around so far. Here's how it works. The lord and lady open the dance and the other noble couples follow. Finally, all the commoners can join in. Is it only partner dance for now? Correct, the freeform dance begins later. I know you're antsy for that one. As Kaileen describes, the center of the hall slowly fills up with waltzing couples. The ongoing party occurs react with cheers and applause while Oberon and Tatiana display a particularly elegant move. They've clearly done this many times. If people are getting busy dancing, I can finally have the chance at the buffet. Go get that nougat, girl! While everyone is watching the royal pair, I notice that Elith is looking off to the side. I follow their gaze and could a scene that is unfolding between Lord and Lycomorph Lady. I can't hear what they're saying, but it doesn't look like a pleasant conversation. Eventually, the Lycomorph snaps off and snarls as she passes by. Get out of my way, fairy scum. Girl, you are just the antagonist here, hon. Well, she's the charmer. Agreed, agreed. Maybe she was being rude and Nord gave her a piece of his mind. Wait, are we talking about the same person? You mean Nord with the little neck ruff that's stuffing his face with macaroons right now? You know what they say, don't judge a book by its cover. I'm sweet and adorable. I would never say anything out of pocket. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, still, I think I'm going to check on them. Hold on, I'm going with you, Blossom. Are you guys doing alright? Mm-hmm. We're just fine. They don't seem eager to gossip on the argument they had with the wolf lady, so I won't press them. Blossom motions to the dance floor, which is now filling up with couples from the group of commoners by now. You guys planning to go for a round two? Oh, right! Time to shine, Grasshopper. Nord and Atlas hurry to show off their waltz. They're twirling around and laughing whenever one steps on the other's foot. Figured they could use a distraction right now. Those two are the cutest. I wouldn't want them to be bummed out during a party. You guys are all adorable, honestly. I mean, you seem like a really supportive group of friends. Everyone is so kind and welcoming. Well, it wasn't always like this. We're all fine and dandy now, but it took a lot of work. Don't get me started on all the teen drama we got up to. You can't just mention that and not tell me more about it. Damn, okay. I guess being a teen is really difficult on its own. We were insecure little buggers back then. Take Nord and Atlas, for example. They were friends as kids. But as they grew up and realized they had feelings for one another, it freaked them out. It took them a pretty long time to figure out what they wanted to be, and it worked out for the better. Now they're pretty much inseparable. Fascinating. What about Kaileen? She used to be super shy one, always standing in her older sister's shadow. Kaileen just be me for real. Like, you want to know my backstory, just take Kaileen's backstory and it's mine. Besides the dead dad. I think when Elith showed up in town a few years back, it was when Kaileen first realized people were appreciating her research and what she had to say. After that, she opened up more to the rest of us too. If you ask me, she's really come onto her own. What are you lovelies chatting about? Ah, are you done with your highly sophisticated business talks, huh? I was just telling Knight about her embarrassing teenage stories. The forbidden knowledge! You didn't tell her about the time I offered your mother. I offended your mother and she tossed me into the compost pile, right? Nah, but you now just did. Oh, blast. It is true. Even I was once an ugly duckling. I mean, on the inside. Visually, I was always fabulous. We were constantly at each other's throats back then. That bad? I thought Blossom was a crude peasant who was going to beat me up any time we met. And I thought you were a pretentious prick. And you were right! You're just lucky you got to know us when we were at our best, Knight. Wow, how did you make things better? Growing up, I guess. There were problems that you actively needed to work on in order to fix them, and there are others where you just need time to pass. I guess If I could tell a little old teenage me anything, it's that things do get better. Agreed. A little while later, the court musicians put on a more folksy tune and the atmosphere clearly becomes more casual. The dance floor is now flooded with people who dance in groups or solo. Elise perks up with the sound. Every fiber of their being is exclaiming, "This is my jam." They exchange a quick look with Kaileen, and two of them hurry to the dance floor, inviting the rest of us to join them. It's less crowded, too, now that the nobles are gone. Come on! Compared to the calm and ordered ballroom dance from before, the crowd is going wild in tune of the folk beats. I love how cute. I love our character, Tabby. Okay, that's cute. I love how pretty and cute this is. Some well-practiced step dancers, including Elise, show off a little. There are cheers and joyful laughter all around. The minutes fly by, but eventually some of the most endearing ones have tired themselves out. Hey, do you know what else was part of the midsummer celebration? A fire? Exactly. Are you guys implying that there's going to be arson after all? Hey, arson! I should not be this excited for arson. No, we're saying it's time to go outside, silly. Good idea. It's getting a bit noisy in here anyway. Let's take a stroll. We all move outside the residence and follow the river. There's a spot by the riverside that's frequently used for campfires. Elise gets a flame started effortlessly and a routine well practiced with time. Nords has snatched a bowl of snacks and we take a seat on the makeshift benches. Compared to the ruckus inside, the scenery is pleasantly quiet. Look how sweet this is. Just a group of friends hanging out. The river peacefully urges on, the fire crackles in the air still. Moth provides some pleasant background tunes on his lyre. Atlas hands out some marshmallows to roast over the fire, though he insists on calling the candy that name instead. I'm pretty sure his pronunciation is off, but I humor him. It doesn't take long until the events of the last few days come up in the campfire chatter. When Kaileen talks about our excursion in the woods, she gets a little sidetracked with the details, but tries focusing on the exciting parts. And then we sneaked past those lycomorphs like ninjas. Gosh, they didn't smell you with those sensitive noses of theirs? That's why Kaileen had some aromantic, you know. Aromatic. God, not even how did I get them messed up? You know, guys, I smell really good. I'm aromatic after all. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a disgrace. Herbs to distract them. It was a really smart move. Magnificent. It appears I made quite a name myself this week I've spent here. I could get used to this. We spend the rest of the night telling stories by the fire, roasting food, and goofing around. It's only now sinking in how at home I already feel here. It was only a week ago I arrived in this town, unsure whether I'd fit in. And now I found new friends who treat me like someone who's always been here. This is a joyful night, and one that I hope is only the first of many to come. Aww! And then we drew all of them! That's so cute! That's so cute. That's really cute. And then we have the credits. That's it. With that, we have officially finished Lovewood. The creator has some extra games that I will love to play one day. First, I have to figure out money. And second, I really want to play the Halloween game on Halloween or nearer to September instead of playing it now. Because, you know, absolutely always been, you know, keeping in time with Halloween. I say as if I didn't make Halloween stories or anything in what? April? In March? Sorry for the cough. This is a bit on the shorter side because I am tired. I'm going to the run fair tomorrow, so I do need to go to bed a bit earlier as well. But I did want to finish the roots. I did want to have, you know, have nights first first Roots, and then like I said, the next game we play will be purely night. She will be the only one playing it, and I have two in mind, but I think I want to play one more over the other. Go support the creator who made the game. If you're interested in getting the game, it's free. So I definitely recommend playing it. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a good day. I'm making this sound like the exit of my videos. Sorry. But I will see you guys next Thursday, and I am, if I remember, changing the times so that we can have a bit longer streams. Also have me not as dead tired as otherwise, but I will see you next Thursday, which will be fun. We'll start the whole new thing, and yeah. So I guess bye-bye.